The India-Africa relationship is not new, with growing trade relations between the two countries continuing to strengthen partnerships across key African economies. One such organization is the Mahindra Group, and joining me now for more on their plans in Africa is Sri Prakash, the President of Group Strategy at Mahindra Group. Thank you very much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
So just looking at the group right now and how Africa fits into earnings as they stand, 1% of total group earnings, so still a very small portion, but are you spending a little bit more time in Africa?
Yes, we are. In fact, that is the opportunity. When you are a small proportion of a group's revenue, it makes sense to get disproportionate growth and disproportionate returns on that base. And that's what we are determined to do.
So when you look at how you intend to grow your African earnings, because you still certainly have a presence in Africa right now, whether it would be, as we were saying off air, through tractors, through power systems, through cars here in South Africa, how are you going to be doing that? I mean, is it through specific geographies, specific products right now? Where's the key focus area from a group level?
I must say that you have already outlined the strategy. If you look at an entry strategy into a new continent altogether, for a group which may be originally headquartered elsewhere in the world, it is always multidimensional. You know, we are a $17 billion group, and our revenues come from 11 different sectors. Automotive, tractors, these are some of the better known products, but we are India's largest non-banking finance company. We are India's largest holiday resorts company, and there are many other fields where we are number one. So when we looked at Africa, the first thing to look at was where is the strategic fit. So one dimension is you look at different countries of Africa. It's not one country, it's 56 countries. And North Africa can be very different from South, and East can be very different from West. So one, you look at the countries and their different needs and requirements. Second dimension, look at our own product portfolio. 11 sectors, from auto, aeroplanes, we manufacture aeroplanes in Australia, sports vehicles in South Korea and India, tractors in China, India, America. So we said, let's look at entire gamut of products which we produce and offer, and what will fit in where.
So let's get into that. Geography-wise, which countries right now make the most sense for you to be focusing on resources and energy and time in right now?
Well, it so happens, and we are happily sitting in South Africa. We made our entry, our first port of call was South Africa. South Africa became the hub for our auto entry. As you know, near Pretoria is where we set up our base. And South Africa also became the supplying base for entire Southern Africa. So,
how are those sales working out for you on the car front? I mean, given there's a growing middle class and people, of course, we know transport systems are lacking in Africa. Are your sales up to what you had hoped they would be?
They are. In fact, auto was perfect fit for us. Our group's credo is helping people to rise. And that fits in with so many people have aspirations to own SUVs or pickups, and very often they are unable to afford them. We came out with quality products, and they were real value for money. So last year, when industry in the South Africa grew only 9%, Mahindra grew 66%. This year, the forecast is that industry may grow only 7%. But we are confident that on top of last year's 66%, this year we will grow 50%. That is ample evidence that customers have really liked our products.
Yeah. Other products right now that are fitting in perfectly with Africa and what Africa needs, given, of course, the fact that you have 11 sectors and 17 industries you play into?
They do. In fact, in Western Africa and Central Africa, we focused with tractors. The strategies has been simple. A customer-facing product first finds its way through exports. Next, you set up spare parts distribution and distribution of various components which will allow your product to have a longer life. Third, you move into CKDs, and finally you move into assembly. On the other hand, if you look at our strategy in B2B space, it is very different. Now you want to enter B2B like IT services. As you know, we are among India's top 4 IT companies also. Tech Mahindra and Mahindra Satyam have been leading many initiatives in Africa, including FIFA. Entire IT work of FIFA was done by Mahindra. There we decided that ideal way of entering will be through an anchor partner. So we tied up with a telco which has a multi-country operation, and that became our entry point few years back. Once we had a presence through an anchor customer, not only we continued to serve them, we also entered all verticals. So telecom is today only one. We are in mining, manufacturing, retail, banking, insurance. Because once you had an office and you had people, then next step comes. Similarly, through an anchor customer, you enter the diesel power generator sets. Africa, again a strategic fit. We are again among the largest genset manufacturers in India. Very reliable, maintenance-free products. We entered, and now we have the retail distribution.